this video, we'll demonstrate the user experience of an ExcelRT Cloud app. We're using the Edge browser on a Windows 10 computer, but the user experience would be very similar regardless of the computer, mobile device, or browser that you're using. We start from a login screen. Here we have the default login screen, but the developer can customize the image and title of the screen. The user will type in the name of the application they want to log into. So the developer has previously created an account for that user and assigned an app to their account. The developer may have assigned multiple apps to that user account. When we log in, we see a file manager that can be customized by the developer to have various buttons on the side. If you've created other ExcelRT desktop apps, you're familiar with this interface where various buttons will allow you to create and manipulate workbook files within your app. We already have some sample files named here. Let's create another file. We'll click the New button and we'll give a name to a new file. As you can see, the user experience is very similar to running a desktop app. Here we see the new file we've created. We can just double click it or click the Open button, and we're now opening the file. We've opened this file and we can see there are 3 sheets to this workbook: the project details and summary, and we have some information that we can change by selecting a cell and typing. So let's select this cell and change this to something different. And we'll tab to the next field, and let's change this field as well. So you can see the process of editing cells is very similar to what it would be in any desktop app that you've built with ExcelRT. Let's switch to the detail sheet, and here we see a list of items on the quote that we're preparing, where we can name the item, give a quantity, price, and some calculations are automatically occurring over here. We can also have some buttons that run a little bit of script, and if we click a button, for example, it will add an additional row to this sheet, or we can remove a row from the sheet by clicking the Remove button. Let's go to the summary sheet, and the summary sheet just kind of combines the information for the quote that we've provided into a single sheet that can be printed. This little app actually has the ability to change this logo, so we'll try that here by clicking on the logo button. It pops up a dialog and the user can select a different logo. So let's select this logo instead. And it's an image that can be uploaded into the account, and then it will replace the image that's currently on this sheet. After making editing changes to the workbook, click the Save button, and you'll see a temporary progress indicator at the top right as the workbook is being saved. For a larger workbook, it may take several seconds to save. We can close out of the workbook and return to our file manager. The developer may choose to add several buttons on the side of the file manager to do other functions. For example, a button that can pop up a dialog to collect user feedback that will be sent back to the developer, or there could be a button to enter some common settings data that would then get applied to all the different workbook files that are created with this application. That way those common parameters can be changed once and they apply to all the files. Let's take a look at another example here. We're going to select this file that we've created, click the Cloud button. That takes us to a private region in the cloud where we can upload the file, and now that file can be available to any other user of ExcelRT in the cloud or ExcelRT in the desktop. Basically, any user that we share our cloud sharing credentials with can now grab that file and use it from their account or their local computer. We can also go the other way. For example, we can select this file and click the download button, and now we're going to download that file into our local account. When you're done working with the app, you can click the log out button to log out of your account. The password button presents a dialog where you can change your password. ExcelRT Cloud keeps daily backups of each user account. From the Restore dialog, you can select a previous backup and then restore your account to the way it looked on that date. There's actually two ways of restoring. You can restore just the specific app that you're working in now by clicking the Restore App button. If you use multiple apps from the same user account, you can restore the entire account by clicking the Restore Account button. That also restores the common plugins folder back to that date. A plugins folder can be used by some applications to share data that's shared between different workbooks or different apps. We're running the application from the Edge browser on a Windows 10 machine. Now we're in Safari on a Mac Catalina machine. The first thing you're going to notice is pretty much everything looks and works the same. It's just one application running in the cloud. It really doesn't matter which browser, which computer, or whether you're even running on a computer. You could be running on an iPad, Android tablets. Pretty much any device is going to work and look almost identical. Let's go back into the workbook itself, and as we navigate through the screens of the workbook, we see it pretty much looks identical to the way it did on the other device. Same app from an iPad, so you can see the user experience is about the same regardless of the computer or mobile device you're running from. To be more precise, we're running on an iPad simulator to make it easier to capture this video. So we've started the Safari browser, went to the login page, now we're logging into the app. And we can see we can select the file we want to work with. All the other capabilities are essentially the same. And let's go ahead and open this file into the workbook itself, and it'll take us to the main sheet of our workbook where we can then navigate between sheets, edit data, and everything else that we were doing before on a desktop computer.